to create a SQL Server database. We are going to add some tables and we are going to add data to it. Now, the first thing that you do is that you go to the root directory, right click, click add, so add new item. Now look for data here. You will notice there is a SQL Server database. Now the default name of the database is database 1 and the extension is MBF. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a database. The name of the database is student. The extension will be added automatically. So I click add. Okay, there is a prompt asking whether you want to put this particular database into app data folder. So now this is a special folder. Normally all the database will be stored here, so we will click yes. Okay, once the database has been created, you will notice there is a studentdb.mdf at the Solution Explorer. Okay, however, for you to actually manipulate the database, you cannot use the Solution Explorer. The Solution Explorer is just for the purpose of viewing whether it exists or not. So what you need to do is that you need to open the Server Explorer. So if the database is not still not open here, so go to the view, look for Server Explorer. So click this Server Explorer. Okay, now okay, this is a Server Explorer. Okay, if you go to data connections, okay, you can expand that. You will notice there is a studentdb.mdf here. Okay, so now if I am to expand this studentdb.mdf, so you will notice that there are several elements here. Okay, tables, views and stored procedures. So basically for the purpose of our lesson today, we are going to focus on the tables. Now there are several ways how to create the tables within the database. Okay, now one way is for you is that go to this table. Okay, now if I am to expand this table, there's nothing here because we haven't created any table yet. So for you to create a table, you can right click, add new table. Okay, okay, you will have an interface whereby this interface will be split into two parts. One is what we call the designer view. So meaning that you can create the table not using SQL, and you can see this is actually creating a database by using the SQL command. Okay, now let us look into this. So I'm just going to show you how to create a simple table. Okay, for example, let's say that I'm going to create a very simple table. The name of the table will be given later on. Let's say we have the ID. Okay, now the ID is, let's say this is integer. We have column 1. Okay, here you can select the different types of data type here. Okay, now this column 1 depends on what you want. For example, let's say we want this is a varchar. Okay, a varchar. Now this is column 2. You can select column 2. Let's say this is a float. A float is a value with a decimal place. Column 3. Okay, we have a date. So for date, there is date time. So if you want just the date, so you can select this as the date. Okay, now, and if you notice, okay, if you notice that when every time you actually update at the design view, it will also update at the SQL command view. Okay, now the version of SQL used by SQL Server is what we call TSQL. So, but in terms of development, so I would prefer for you to use the SQL commands, because later on in real development, so most of the developers will be using the SQL commands rather than the design view. Okay, now if I am to actually rename this particular file, okay, this is, let's say we want the table name as table 1. So this is table 1. So this is the primary key. Okay, now these are the table that we want to create. So what you need to do is that once you have done this, you update the database. Okay, you will be given a selection. So what you need to choose is update database. Okay, you will be given a notice of update completed successfully. Okay, here we refresh the Server Explorer, and you will notice now that we have this table 1. Okay, this one we can actually close back. Okay, this is table 1. So if I am to close this, okay, if I am to double click, this is the same table 1. Okay, now in general, okay, you will notice that there is a square bracket. Okay, a square bracket that encompasses the name of the column. So this square bracket is actually optional. Okay, but when you create using the designer, it will put the square bracket here. Okay, so this is square bracket. Now this DBO is considered a schema. So what is a schema? So a schema, this is beyond the scope of this particular course. Okay, but in general, DBO stands for database owner. So because you are the owner of this database, so it will automatically assign DBO. But when you create the table, okay, you do not need to add this DBO. Okay, so here we have this table. So how do you actually okay, if you expand table 1, you will notice that there are the columns will be listed to you. Okay, these are the columns. For example, let's say that we want to add some data to table 1. Okay, so we right click, we have show table data. Show table data. Now here you can actually add some data here. For example, this is an integer. Okay, now column 1 is a varchar. Let's say I'm going to put something here. Let's say apple. Column 2. Okay, what is column 2? Okay, now column 2 is actually a float. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put some value here. Let's say 895. Let's say this is the price of the apples. Let's say this is the expiry date. Now for a date, so let's say that today, so for you to put in the date, you need to put it in the form of 2020 3. We have, so this is the date. Okay, let us put in another ID. So this is orange. So say 1st of April, so we have 2020 0401. So this is 1st of April. Okay, now whenever you go to a new row, it will automatically save the data. So now this is actually the data that you have automatically stored. So no need to save because it will be automatically saved for you. Okay, let's say I'm closing this everything. So just to show that the data is still here, show table data. You can see that these are the data that you have stored. Now, okay, another way for you to actually create the tables is, okay, you can automatically create the tables using a query. Go to the database studentdb.mdf. Here we have new query. Okay, now for the purpose of our exercises, I have prepared, okay, a text file. Okay, now this text file, actually we are going to create 3 tables for our database. The table name is TBL students, TBL sex, and TBL state. Okay, in addition to that, we are going to also to add the values or the data for each of the tables, okay, using SQL command. Okay, so these are the commands. So these commands I have uploaded to the VLE. The name of the file is SQL for studentdb. This is a normal text file which you can open using a notepad. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to actually copy the whole thing. Okay, Control A. So if you are using notepad, Control A, copy, and I'm going to paste everything here. Okay, so this is copy and paste. Okay, now for this exercise, let me explain about the tables that we are creating now. Okay, the first table is TBL students. The command to create the table is create table. So for SQL, uppercase and lowercase does not matter. The table name is TBL students. Okay, now first column, we have index number. Index number, now the type is integer. Now here we have identity. So identity is what we call auto increment. So if you are familiar with MySQL, this is auto increment. Okay, but in SQL Server we use the term identity. So here within the parenthesis we have actually 2 arguments. The first argument is that you start with what value. So here our identity start with a value 1 and it will increment by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. So we have 1, which is the starting number, the starting value, and this is the increment. Okay, here we have primary key. This is the primary key. The second column is name. So this is for the student name. Now we choose a varchar type. The length of the name will be variable, so it's best to use varchar. Okay, next we have email. Okay, now here we have not null, meaning that, okay, I do not make it, I make it compulsory for the values to be entered. Okay, so that's why it is not null. Okay, next we have email, also varchar. The size is 50. Now student ID, I'm using the format, the UniKL student ID format, with 11 digits. Okay, but here I do not use an integer, because integer, okay, if you start with a 0, okay, if you are using integer, the 0 will be gone. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a char. Okay, why char, not varchar? Because the length of the student ID is uniform, 11 characters. So it is best to use char. Next, I have IC number. Now, IC number, this is for Malaysian. We have 14 characters. This is also a char. Okay, now we have date of birth. So for date of birth, we have date, sex code. This is char. So this will be whether it's a F or M. For the Malaysian state, I will assign one code for each state. Okay, now this is the first one, the first table, TBL students. Now, the second table, we have TBL sex, whereby we have this sex code, and we have the sex, whether this is female or male. Okay, you will notice that from the TBL students, we have also the same sex code here. So basically, these two tables are actually joined together. So, and it is joined here, okay, at the sex code. And the relationship later on, this will be one to many. So this is one. This is the primary key, and it will join to the table students here. This will be foreign key. So this is the many relationship. Okay, the third table is actually TBL state. So here we have state code, which is a primary key. This is the name of the state. Okay, and this table states is joined to this table students based on the state code. Okay, so this is the PK, primary key. Now this will be the foreign key. Okay, so this is 1. Okay, this is the 1, and this is the many. Okay, in addition to the creating the table, I will also insert, okay, some data here using the insert command. We have insert into TBL students. Okay, so this is the name of the table. Okay, we have a keyword, a reserved word values. Okay, now these are the data. So you will notice that for any char or varchar, you need to enclose the data with a single quote. Okay, now this is a single quote, not a double quote. So now this is the name. This is actually the email. This is example of a student ID. Now this is the IC number. Now this is to the date of birth. Okay, you will notice that the format, you will enclose this using a single quote, similar to a char or varchar. But in terms of the dates, okay, the format must be in the form of, okay, the 4-digit year, 2-digit month. Okay, for example, July is 07, and the day is 01, 1st of July 1995. So this is year, this is month, and this is the day. So regardless of whatever formatting your operating system format date is, but this is the format that you should follow. Now this is the male or female. This is M, and this is the state code. Okay, now I can actually add several rows of data by separating using a comma. Okay, so these are the stable students. Okay, similarly, we have TBL sex. We have only 2 rows of data. We have female and we have male. Okay, now we have the TBL state. So similarly, we have the state code and we have the state itself, the description of the state, and it is actually separated using a comma. So once you have typed this, or in our case we copy and paste, okay, what you do is that you will notice there is an execute button here, so green in color. So we click this execute button. Okay, you will find there is a message here. See, 10 rows affected, so meaning that these are all the data that has been added here. And how do we actually look into this? Okay, now I click the table here. Okay, you will notice that it does not register these TBL students because we have not refreshed this. Okay, this is table 1. So when I am to refresh this, you will notice there are TBL sex, TBL state, and TBL students. Now, let us look into the data. Click this, right click, show table data. Okay, you will notice that it will display a set of, you can resize this. Okay, you can resize, so this in the form of like an Excel sheet. We have all the rows and columns, and you will notice the date of birth will be displayed according to the settings of your operating system in terms of the date setting. Okay, let's say this is TBL sex, show table data. Okay, we have female and male, and we have TBL state. These are very simple examples of how to create a SQL Server database and how to add data to it. One database operation that may be useful to you is to delete a table. Why do we want to delete a table? Okay, perhaps when we created the table, we are testing our ideas. So at the end of the day, for that particular project, we choose say that we do not want to retain this table, and we choose to delete this because we wouldn't want this table to exist in this particular project because it has nothing to do with what we are developing. So here, let's say that I choose to delete table 1. So what do I do is highlight table 1, right click, here we have delete. Okay, so if I am to click this, basically this table will be deleted and we cannot restore. So it is up to you whether you want to actually follow what I do now, but for the video, so I'm going to delete this. Okay, so we have to click update database. Okay, so you see that now we only have 3 tables. So table 1 has been deleted.